Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? I hope everyone's well. It's been a while. I hope everybody is doing very, very well. Everyone's good with health and everything. So, I just wanted to discuss a few things about visiting temples. This whole topic came to my mind a few days back because I was editing some videos about temple visits. I've been visiting some temples, important, powerful temples, since the last few months actually. And this whole practice that we have about how we visit a temple, what kind of practices we have, and generally people always tell you that you should visit a temple empty stomach. You should fast before you go to a temple. It's not a mandatory thing, of course. You can even have your breakfast and food and visit also. That's not a big deal. But energetically, why is it prescribed and why is it beneficial for you? That is what I wanted to share with you, because this is something that even I have experienced myself. No one told me. I of course go and visit these places all by myself. They are my solo trips and everything, and no one really comes and tells me do this, do that. So it's all up to me. But intuitively I happen to feel like I should keep a fast when I go to a certain temple. So the main basic practice, what they tell us is that you should fast when you visit a religious place like that. I'm sure they say that, maybe they say that in other religions as well, but I don't know about it. I can't talk about it much. I'm not very aware about that, but at least for our temples, like for our Hindu temples and stuff, most of the time people ask you to keep a fast from the previous night. If you're going in the morning, then fast from the previous night itself. Have like an early dinner at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and don't eat anything after that, and then visit the temple completely empty stomach. And that is going to be very, very beneficial for you, is what they say. Now, why do they say that? What is the whole reason behind? I'm sure some of you may be already knowing it. Some of you might be already experiencing it and knowing the general gist of it. But I want to explain a little bit more in detail. So when you have not had your food, you are depriving yourself of nutrition and energy, right? Your body is craving for energy. Now, if you had your breakfast, lunch and everything and gone to a temple, you would be full. Your body basically is a vessel, a tumbler, a container of energy only, right? So if your body is full, your tumbler is completely full of energy, then how will you absorb anything else over there? Of course, you will go and pray, you will see the sight, and you will have fun over there, see the deity and everything. But the main purpose is to absorb some energy over there. Energetically also, you should benefit from that place by going to such kind of a place. So that is the reason, if you keep your vessel empty, you will be able to automatically extract energy, absorb energy from that space. You will not have to try, because when you are depriving yourself of food, any kind of energy, you will feel it. I also felt that, because when I was going to all these temples, especially some of these very, very powerful temples, I could feel that my body is craving it, and it was literally sucking the energy from the temple space, from the core temple space where the deity is kept, where a lot of rituals and practices are happening. At that point of time, those spots, when I reached, of course I was hungry, right? I was hungry. I hadn't had food since the previous night. I didn't eat anything since morning. Of course, water and all I drank, but I was hungry, and I was like, I had the energy, but I would appreciate some energy, kind of thing. Okay. And when I would reach those spots, those spaces where the real deity is kept, where I would really want to stay there. Like when I was reaching those spots where the deity is kept, where the main core temple centers are there, those energy centers. In a temple also there are some energy centers. They're very pure, strong energy centers. The entire temple space is sacred anyway, yes, but there will be certain points in that inner temple. You will be able to understand that if you can sense energy, if you can feel the power, feel something, the vibe, And when I was reaching those certain points, my body would be like, okay, I want to stand here for 10 minutes non-stop. I want to eat the energy from that space. My body was craving for energy. It was like, starving kind of thing. So I was able to sense the difference. Like my body was really taking, absorbing. And the temple people, they are going to move you fast. They won't let you stand there for long, especially during the rush hours. They will be like, okay, move, go fast. A lot more people are coming in. So at that point of time, you will not be able to stay there for more than a minute or two. You will have to walk fast. But even in those 2 minutes, I was like, no, I'm taking it. I was just looking straight, and I was like, man, a gush of, some vibes are coming from there. And I doubt you will feel that if you are going there with a full stomach. If you are full of energy, if you've, had like a big meal and gone, your vessel is full, your vessel is not empty, I doubt you will feel all of that so much, because your body is not craving for anything. Your body is not craving for energy. So even when there is presence of, powerful energy in your space, you will not ask for it. You will not attract it. You will not want it. Even if it is there, you will be like, okay, I don't want it. I'm full already. Right? It's just like any kind of thing. And if there's a empty glass, you will pour water into the empty glass. If the glass is full, how will you pour anything in there? You will not pour. Even if there is a very good liquid right there, you will not need it, because your glass is already full. It is just like that. It is just something like that. So that is the reason people ask you. It is always prescribed and it is always told to visit such kind of spaces with an empty stomach. Fast before going there. If you fasted the whole day, the entire time that you're spending in that space, in that sacred space for 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, even if you're there the whole day, be there with the empty stomach. Let your body fill up. Let your energy vessel, your entire, your being, fill up with just that deity's presence, with just that energy. Let yourselves absorb as much as you can. And that is what I did. That is what actually I did. And I could really feel it. And I was like going back again and again, because they move you, they rush you through it, they ask you to leave. I was like, I don't want to go. I want to stand here for 10 more minutes and absorb. But you can't do that, so you have to move quickly. But what I would do is I would again come back after a couple of hours, after 3 hours, during the lunchtime kind of, when there are less queues, less crowd, it's more sparse. And that is when I would again come back and stand there in those energy centers, in those points, and stand there for a little longer. This time maybe I will be allowed for a little longer, like 5 more minutes or something. And I would feel that. I would feel that rush. I would feel like, man, that gush of energy is coming through, and I'm absorbing it. I would absorb as much, and I would really feel it. I would really feel that potent, very divine, and it's my genuine experience. I'm not even making anything. The second time when I went, the camera got tilted a little bit. The second time when I went, I was like feeling that, and that energy, I'm talking about this temple energy. Of course, if you go to a very different kind of space, you will feel that energy also. But when you are starving, when you're hungry, please do not go to negative spaces. Just like how you are absorbing a positive energy, you will end up absorbing negative energy also. Because energy is energy. Your body is hungry, your body is starving. It will take whatever is there, whatever can energize you. So at that point of time, you might end up energizing yourself with negative energy also. So please avoid, do not go. I mean, usually also do not go. Do not hang out with negative people. Do not consume negative substances when your body is starving, body is hungry. When you don't have energy at that point of time, make sure you go to a positive space only. It's just a very, very scientific thing. It's a very normal thing, common sense kind of thing also. Second time when I went there, it's that divine energy of a temple, like, full of love. The deity's energy, it was so loving, it was so abundant. It was like unconditional love flowing in. I was literally, I was in tears. I was literally in tears, and I had to immediately sit down. I came out and I had to sit down for 10 minutes outside, right outside that particular center, that spot, because I was overwhelmed. I was really so overwhelmed with the divine energy. I had to sit down for 5 minutes and meditate and absorb and ground all of that energy, whatever energy I absorbed, through my vessel, through my cells, everywhere, like my face, my everywhere, the entire being. Whatever I had absorbed, I wanted to ground that energy and keep it within me, and process that energy, process and let it flow through every cell, let it flow through my being, and keep it. And for that you will need to be stable. For that you will need to sit down for a while. It's not going to happen if you start talking immediately, if you start immediately interacting, laughing, walking. It might not happen. So it's important it's important to sit down if you want to do that. So I immediately sat down, because I wanted, like, okay, this is very, very precious energy that I just received. I don't want to misplace it anywhere. I don't want to lose it, or I don't want to not feel it. So I immediately sat down and I wanted to feel it, consume it as much, process it, and let it flow all over me, all through me, and ground it in my feet, ground it in my abdomen, ground it in my the root chakras, like the base of my body, ground it over there, my core, keep it there so that I can use it for later, kind of thing. And I was in tears. I of course didn't show my tears to anyone, but I was like, man, it was so powerful, it was so divine, it was so beautiful that I didn't want to leave. Of course, after that again they had to push us out. They were like, no, get up, go, leave. So they pushed us out, and I was like, I guess I'm not going to be able to come again for the third time. This was another temple, basically. This was in Andhra, when I had been to the Mallikarjuna temple in Srishailam. That is also another Jyotirling. Oh man, that is a very, very powerful temple. The energy was crazy. The energy was not unlike any other temple. I've been to so many, and it's considered the second Jyotirling. Actually, there are 12 Jyotirlings in India. Very, very powerful presence of Mahadev, basically. That is what is Jyotirling all about. It's the pillar of light, sudden pillar of light that somebody would have seen. The first one is in Somnath in Gujarat. That is also extremely powerful place. And the second was Mallikarjuna in Andhra. And I didn't know about it. I didn't know about its power. I had of course heard it, and I know that it's a Jyotirling, so I just went there to view for myself. But it is a very, very powerful temple for sure. I mean, I just experienced it myself. So anyway, the whole thing is that we should go empty stomach to all these places, to these divine sacred spots, because our vessel is going to be empty, and we will be able to absorb as much energy, as much positive divine influence, divine energy automatically without too much effort, because our body is anyway going to absorb it, because it would be craving for any kind of energy. Okay, and now people will ask, a lot of people might have this question, why do we have to do this only when we go to a temple? Why don't we do that when we go anywhere else? First of all, why are these temples sacred and powerful? Because they would have found some kind of sacred presence, some kind of symbol, some kind of sign, somebody would have seen a being over there or something. They would have literally seen the deity over there before the temple was constructed. In that spot, in that land, somebody would have spotted something. Only then they would construct a temple over there. It's like a awakened space. Somebody would have done some kind of rituals, and suddenly they would have seen something. Okay, the Devi Prakat ho gayi kind of thing. Spiritual entity they would have seen, a very, very divine spiritual entity. Somebody's vision, some priest would have seen, or some kind of very, very powerful presence someone would have felt, and that is the reason they would have created a temple over there. Otherwise, simply people don't create temples everywhere, right? Anywhere here and there, no. When they see something, okay, some anthill has come out, so a sudden, a shivling has appeared on its own from under the earth, or a temple has literally come out from the earth, like all these Banaras temples, they have literally come out from the water, from within the earth, because those cities were destroyed so many times and then they were again rebuilt and recreated on their own, right? So when you see such kind of miraculous things, that is when you know, okay, some kind of power must be here, some kind of presence must be here. Somebody's seen a sudden vision at night while performing a ritual, and literally the deity came, the goddess came, God came, and they gave a blessing, or they said something that you must create a temple over here. I am going to be present, I want to be present over here. Because trust me, a lot of people do all kinds of rituals, but deities don't appear everywhere. Deities will appear where they want to appear, where they feel comfortable, where they feel that connection, where the vibe matches, basically the frequency matches, where they feel like, okay, yes, this is the frequency where I will want to make a home for me, right? When that kind of a awakened space is found, only then a temple or any kind of religious space, I think, is created. That is what is the ideal whole technique about it, the whole philosophy about it. That is the whole process, that is the idea behind. They basically want to solidify the presence over there and want to create and label it, saying that, okay, here, this is where the spot, this is where somebody had appeared, and now we want to label it as this person's home, where everybody now can come and pay their devotion, do their rituals. Now what happens, that space is already awakened and has some kind of power, some kind of presence there. And then on top of that, from thousands of years, from some temples are so old, right? 3,000-year-old temples, extremely old temples that we've seen are actually 3,000-year-olds even. So from decades, from hundreds of years, people are going there and doing rituals, practices, they're donating things, they're coming with so much devotion, they're paying their love, their conviction, they have put in that space. And the priests and those other holy men, the other people, the spiritual people, they are constantly conducting so much, they're constantly chanting mantras and this, that, and all kinds of things from so many decades, that place gets even more energized. That place gets so energized as it becomes like a powerhouse of that deity's energy. It depends on whatever deity or whichever god they are worshipping over there. Depending on that goddess or god's energy, the whole place amplifies, the whole place gets amplified with that kind of energy, that essence of energy. It can be, if it's an aggressive deity, then it can feel like that, it can feel more aggressive. If it's a calm deity, if it's a deity of abundance, you'll feel, I guess, the more abundant energy will be spread out entirely in the whole place, right? You'll feel that particular DNA of energy will be spread all over that space, the entire temple area. That is how the whole temple gets energized, by our doings only, from centuries and decades of our doing, our belief, our faith, our chanting, our practices. We make that space like that. And then when you go to a place like that, when you get an opportunity to visit a place like that, do you really want to be full? Do you want your vessel to be full and go over there? I don't think so. You should have your vessel completely empty over there. It will be a waste. It will be a sheer waste, utter, mindlessness to visit a extremely powerful sacred place with a full body, with a stomach full of food. It will be a complete waste, is what I feel. So I look at all these places as energy centers, as religious places, as spiritual places, yes, but very, very powerful energy centers from where you must absorb energy and come back home. Absorb energy every time, absorb and come back home. Bring that energy with you, bring that energy in your vessel. How do we bring that energy? By having prasad, by having the eatables, by carrying some flowers, by buying some products over there, some deities, pictures, idols, all that, books, all that stuff we buy and we bring that energy. Yes, that is fine, but you are forgetting that your body also has gone there and you are not using your body. The main product is you. You're forgetting about that. You have to energize yourself. You have gone there. You're carrying products from over there, buying things from there and bringing home. That is there anyway. That is secondary. But first and foremost, main thing is you need to energize your body. You need to energize yourself. If you haven't done that, then I think a lot of it goes waste. So that is the reason I will truly recommend, and I truly believe in that. I have, because also experienced myself in a very, very powerful way. Then that is why I would recommend, every time you go to such kind of places, please fast and go with a empty stomach. Go as empty as possible and energize yourself there. Don't eat anything. You want to have some prasad here and there, all that is okay, but till the time you're in that space, just consume the energy, because you will feel it. And then once you're home, you can eat anyway, and use that energy for your work. Use that energy, channel that energy slowly into your daily, your conversations, your work, the things that you believe. It will change you. Even even on a weekly basis, if you visit temples, right? A lot of people visit certain temples on a Sunday, on a Monday, on a Friday, Saturday, special days and stuff. Even at that time, when you go with an empty stomach. Don't have to fast for the whole day maybe, but if you're going in the evening, then fast from afternoon itself. Don't eat something right before going to the temple you've just had and gone. Don't do that mistake. Go with an empty stomach and absorb that energy. Again, sit in the temple for half an hour, 45 minutes. Sit over there quietly. If you're chanting something, okay, but absorb that energy as much. Come back home, then ground that energy, ground that in your core. Let it flow all through you, all through your being, and then use it for your work, use it for yourself. Don't waste it, of course, because when you are absorbing so much divine energy, you will also feel like you'll get tempted to use it for other things, like you might for sexual activities or something else, because you will feel a lot of energy in your body and suddenly you will feel very active, and you'll feel it in your sacral chakra. You'll feel like, okay, I want to use that energy now for something else. So if you get tempted and you end up wasting it in your sexual activities too much, then again it won't be of so much use, because you're not gone there to just bring it home and then use it for your sexual activity. If you use it for a sexual activity, then again it's wasted. So instead of doing that, again, temper yourself, have a little more control, and don't get tempted so much. Don't get tempted. Keep that energy for yourself and use it bit by bit in your work, in your daily work, in your daily stuff. So that is what I wanted to share today, and do let me know what you feel about it. Do like, share and subscribe to this channel. Do share the videos with your friends, with your family, or anybody who might benefit from this video, and see you guys in the next video.